Alright, so hello again folks, thanks for checking this out. My name's Will Stewart, and I just had another bush knife I wanted to show you guys and maybe give you a better idea about the size and feel of it. This is the brand spanking new Spyderco bushcraft knife that just came out. This is lent to me to a very generous friend, Hollow Dweller, who we pass a lot of knives back and forth, but I think he gets the short end of the stick on that one, as he's usually got some classier blades than I do. But I wanted to go ahead and make a record of it so that anybody who was wanting to check this out could get a better feel for it. So we'll start with the sheath. It's to my mind a pretty unique design. It's not necessarily a first, but some people aren't a fan of it. I find aesthetically it doesn't really strike me as that attractive, but it also doesn't make me think of, you know, it's not that ugly either to me. The most notable feature obviously is that it's got wide and pretty heavy-duty eyelets all around it, and I like this factor a lot. You can lash it to anything you need to. You can lash maybe a bit of jute or fat wood or your fire steel to it. You can lash a small pouch to it. You can use it for different kinds of carry. So it works well. It's versatile, and for a production knife I think that's a pretty big key, because they're trying to reach out to that many more people than maybe a custom maker would. It's well secured though. It's very well made, even stitching, very smooth, well polished sides here, very secure. I would have no trouble carrying this, and I wouldn't be looking for a sheath in the secondary market either. I like it. Inside is the deeply held Spyderco. That's another key point on this sheath, is it holds it very deeply, and retention's very good. You could carry this upside down all day in the woods and it would not come out. But once withdrawn, we see our bushcraft knife. It is made in Taiwan right now, I believe. Some gorgeous scales with a lot of character. I understand, unfortunately, though, that these are showing a bit of problem. They're supposed to be stabilized, and I'm not sure if it was a problem with their process or the wood itself or the resin they used, but some are showing signs of cracking, some scales on knives, so they're halting the sale, I believe, until they can get that resolved. And this may have only been a rumor, but there was some discussion about whether or not they would even continue production. I have to imagine, though, that after the work it took to get this to market, they're going to want to keep it going, and it'll be worth the small change in putting different kinds of scales on or doing a different kind of stabilization process. But anyway, very handsome. It's got some pretty unique curves, I think. You'll see next to the 510 you can kind of see some particular hump back here along the spine towards the end. Very handsome. It's got a pretty wide flared butt, so I'm just going to show you guys kind of around, get a good feel for it. Here's our butt end. You can kind of see some of the dramatic curves here. And like a lot of the real traditional Pucos that I've seen, it does just get wider towards the butt with a flared butt. I understand that the Sami people usually use more draw cuts than anything, so this is to make it to where that's the most secure way to do things. Your hand's not going to slip off your knife since it's wider at the butt. I don't know if maybe this is a more American style. I seem to think that we do more kind of push cuts, draw cuts, etc. So that's not necessarily a key factor for a lot of people, or for me. I do use a hammer grip most often, and this is a very comfortable knife for that. This hump does come up a little bit into the palm and give you a lot of security, which I like. This front area, it both dips down a little bit there, you can see, and it's smaller in width. It makes for a healthily smaller circumference at that point, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. I tend to prefer my thickness up front and a little bit of thinness at the back. The flared butt can stay or go, and it would be fine. If you reversed these thicknesses, you'd come up with a profile that is not dissimilar from the Brian Andrews bushcraft knife, which is one of the more comfortable bush knives I own. But anyways, it is not uncomfortable, and it does still fill the grip at the first finger there pretty well. It is embossed here with the Spyderco 01 steel, the Spyderco emblem, sort of their trademark hole here, which to my mind serves no real purpose, but it doesn't really detract from it either. I don't mind it. And then the Bushcraft UK logo, where a chunk of the designing was taken care of, as I understand it. The tip is also in line with the handle, pretty basic spear point, Scandi grind here, and I spoke with Hollow Dweller a bit about that edge, and he said it mostly came that polished. So they did a really good job with it. The only thing I've done is, after a little bit of use, I used a small Viking pocket, or the Viking pendant whetstone from Ragweed Forge that I got. It's an extremely high grit little stone, but that's all I've done to it, and it's done great. But overall, the fit and finish on this is as high as any other knife I own. This, again, is not my knife, it's Hollow Dweller's, but the scales meet perfectly. The scales have no cracking. There are no gaps in the scales that I can find. The shaping along the handle is perfectly even. The grind lines are totally even, if you can see that. None of these markings are at all out of place or done poorly. I think these would stand the test of time, actually, like some markings won't. So it's just a handsome package. I know some people have complained, even before even seeing the knife, about the price point and whether or not that would be competitive. But it's kind of nice, because you know what you're getting out of the box. This is what I feel is custom quality. I've actually owned several knives where the quality from a custom maker was not up to par with this, and this is a production knife. So it's not necessarily competition, but from a lot of buyers who may not be able to buy 10 different knives to see what they like best, and they just know that they have X amount of money and they want to get a sure thing, I think this is not a bad way to go. It is a little bit of money. I think that the street price was something like $180, $190. But the fact that it comes with a sheath, comes with some extremely nice scales. These aren't, generic scales. They also aren't micarta. They're pretty fine scales. And you get that custom fit and finish, and you get a comfortable grip. So it's pretty impressive as far as that goes. And I would like to add, too, that I'm glad that Spyderco sort of had the balls to go ahead and put a full-size, beefy, rounded grip on this. It is extremely uncommon for many makers, let alone a production company, to be able to do that. But this is what a comfortable bush knife should have. It's got some very comfortable dimensions to it. Some people have said it was a little large. That comes in probably around an inch thickness right here at the main swell. This might be even a tad large for some people, but I doubt it. I think Hollow Dweller just kind of noted that it was long and heavy compared to some. This is almost 9 inches, which is pretty long, and it's got a bit of weight. I'll try to record that later. I meant to include my small kitchen scale here, but I will try to get a weight on that. But it's not, it's not that heavy. It's not that cumbersome. It's not exactly like you're carrying around a Becker BK9 or something on your hip, but certainly it does weigh more than my 510 does or anything like that. But good O1 steel, good handle, comfortable, easy. I like it. Down the road I might even pick one up. Like I said, I don't know what the production status is going to be in a while, but this is done well. It's comfortable. The only thing it's not as comfortable in as some others is a side grip. This protrusion here, the way it dips down, kind of blocks it. But side grips aren't exactly what you do all the time, so that's not a really big deal. But it's extremely comfortable in a hammer grip and a reverse grip, and doable in a side grip. But there we go. There's a Spyderco bushcraft knife. That's the bushcraft Northwest knife for some comparison again. And just because I have it here, here's the Blind Horse knife. So thanks for checking it out. Let me know if you have any questions, and y'all take care.